So we've got a little bit of a different video today. We're going to have a look at the all-new interface on BYD Sealion 7. It is different to all of the other models. I don't know if they're going to update the other models to have the same one, or if this is just going to be specific to this car, but it is a lot different. The screen itself is very crisp and very responsive. The other models are very good screens and very responsive, but this one I think is just a much better picture. For the settings themselves, I'll go through all of them. It will be a little bit in depth, but I want to try and show off all the features of the car, and if there is something in particular you want to see, then hopefully I can get it in the video. I'll try and go slowly so that you can see the different settings, and if you are going to be getting one of these cars, because of how much they can do, I think it is good to just have a look at a video and look at all the different things, because they can be a little bit complex when you look at them. But once you get used to them and start driving and clicking the different buttons, you soon get used to what you are going to use and what you're not going to use and where to navigate. So simply for changing the temperature, they do have this option where you can use 3 fingers up and down to change the temperature, so you don't have to take your eye off the road. You can just do that with one hand. Left and right will be for the fan speed as well. So that's a nice little feature that they've got on there. On this side, on the Sealion 7, you can change all of the wallpapers and the themes, so you can change all of them as well, as you can flick through them, and you can also upload your own wallpapers on there too. Now with this car, they have brought in this new look on the screen here where you can sort of navigate around the car. You can even change the colour by clicking this button, so if you have a black one or an Atlantis grey, you can change all of the colours on there, but this one's white, so we'll leave it like that. You can then adapt the windows as well by using this. With BYD, they do like to have everything on the screen kind of like in a Tesla, but also you've still got all your buttons, so you can change all of your seat settings with physical buttons. You don't have to do it through here, but you can if you want to. So you've got seat adjustment in there in 2 positions to choose from. Heated seats in all of the front seats and the 2 passenger seats. You've then got a heated steering wheel and ventilated seats in the front as well. So that's heated and ventilated in the front, heated in the back. In the back there is 2 buttons just down below the centre where they can access the heated seats as well themselves. All of your ambient lighting really lights up this car. You've got it running throughout the car and on the passenger's dash as well. But you can change the rear if you select down in this bottom left. You can change them at different colours to the front if you wish, or you can have the whole car the same by doing that. Now there is these 2 little sections on the right hand side. The dynamic is meaning that it's going to go through different colour patterns, and you can change them colour patterns if you want. Sea and stars, tropical flare or colourful spectra. So that's just different patterns that the colour of the ambient lighting rotates through. And then this rhythm ambient down here, the difference with that one is when you play music, it will go with the music. So as the beat goes, it'll change the colours as well. So quite nice little features on the ambient lighting in there as well. Another one that I like is the panoramic roof. So you can just press the buttons above you. You can ask the car, which I'll show you in a moment, to do it, or you can change it on here. So if you want to adjust it to a certain setting all the way open, you can, or if you want it not to go behind the passenger's head, you can as well. So that's quite a nice little feature that they've got in there too. Moving on to the maps. So it's all Google Maps on this one, and it's all integrated with Google Maps. Really responsive and good mapping system. You can see straight away roadworks over here, so it's all live updated mapping. Nice little feature as well is this one. I love this feature. So this measures the amount of battery that you have and then creates this green circle around, and that basically is telling you the point of which you can reach before running out of battery. So if I was doing a trip from Darlington to Birmingham, I know that I wouldn't quite make it. I'd need to stop off on the way. So for planning journeys, that's a really good feature. This particular car that I'm in, it's the Sealion 7 in the design spec, so it is the lowest range, with it being the all-wheel drive and the 81.5 kilowatt battery. You're roughly getting 260 to 278 miles, depending on weather. But I really like that feature. I think it's a good one. And then returning from that, if you click this button here, the little EV charger, that's going to tell you where your nearest chargers are. So if you are on a journey and you don't really know where you are, you can just click that. It'll tell you where they are, and if we select one, it'll then say set as destination, and away you go. That'll take you to the charger 11 minutes away. So quite nice features on there with the mapping system. You can have the sound on and off as well, and you can change all the settings inside of it to 2D, 3D, however you prefer. So I think the mapping's really good with the Google Maps, just having that live updated, so if there is roadworks on, it's a good feature to have. Moving on from there, if you drag down at the top of the screen, you've got these quick sections here. So again, you can ask the car to do everything, but if you don't want to, let's say you want to put your heated seat on and you haven't asked it, or you haven't done it in your phone, rather than clicking into the heating settings and then go into the heated steering wheel, what you can do instead, if we just turn that off, is just drag down at the top, select heated steering wheel, and that's it on. Now with these settings, they are quick shortcuts, so what you can do is you can change them out. So let's say I don't use the opening the boot button, but I do use the interior lights. I'm just going to move one out and one in, press off the screen, so now that when I drag it down, rather than having the boot open button, straight away interior lights there, click that, interior lights are on. So I think that's a good feature. You'll figure out which ones you use most, and then from there you can change them around and just have the quick options as well. So that's a good little feature, a bit like a phone really, changing all of your apps around. Same on this one with the shortcuts, you can change them over too. So that's just dragging down, and there you go. Opposite side, if you pull it up, you can then access all of the apps that you've been on. They'll populate in there, or you can clear them all off, just again like an iPhone if you've got one of them. Talking about iPhone and Apple CarPlay and also Android Auto, for the purpose of this video I'll just do it with Apple CarPlay because I don't have Android Auto. So I'm going to set up my phone and I'll show you how to do that. So if we go on to the phone down here in the left, then going to connect Bluetooth, and as it's searching through, hopefully it'll be nice and easy. Liam's iPhone. So that's it, pairing, and then all you're going to do on your phone is just click on pair, allow the contacts if you want to, and there you go. Now it'll pop up at this point with connect for your Apple CarPlay. Hit connect, hit OK on the screen, OK the notifications, and away we go. Apple CarPlay connecting, and we're on. So straight away you got your Apple CarPlay on the screen there, and there's various apps which are on there. Good one to have is the Z map. That'll tell you where your charges are, and if you're planning journeys you can plan it in there, and it'll tell you where to stop as well. Got Apple Music on there, and also your phones, and if you prefer Apple mapping system you can go with that as well. So from there, if you need to get back to the home, you're just going to press this home button, and if you need to get back to Apple CarPlay, you're just going to click in the bottom right on Apple CarPlay. So that's how you get to and from. If you ever find yourself getting stuck on the Apple CarPlay and you need to get back, just swipe up and you'll be able to access it from there. So really easy to connect, really easy to use. Speaker system in this is amazing as well. You've got your quick navigation options down on the bottom. All of your climate control is down here. You can have a split screen up where you can have two apps running at once. So if I want my phone on this side and then I can have my car on this side, you can do that as well. And there will be more apps coming to it where you can have different features on both sides so that you can use split screen a little bit more. Of course, with BYD I've got the party trick where you can switch the screen to a portrait, but let's have a test. Apple CarPlay, yeah, it's still only going to revert back when you use Apple CarPlay. It only works in this view. So that's one thing that they still haven't managed to sort, but I don't know if they ever will. That could be something to do with Apple rather than BYD. So that's most of the settings on there that you may use. You've got all of your apps in the bottom here, and you can download different apps as well. I think you can get YouTube on this now, and then you can access all your settings, your file manager, navigation, again Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, all of your apps are down there. And if we quickly use the BYD Assistant, and I can show you how responsive that is. So I can say things like, hi BYD, close sunshade. And there we go, it's closing the sunshade. Or you can do things like, hi BYD, put on my heated steering wheel.
Okay, turning on the steering wheel heat.
There we go. Again, if you want to use it for things outside of the car, so rather than just internal things, you can say things like, hi BYD, navigate me to Newcastle Airport.
I found Newcastle International Airport. Want to go there? Sure. Starting navigation.
And there we go. We're up and running.
Please observe the applicable. There doesn't seem to be media playing.
And straight away you're on there. In terms of the sound system, I don't want to play it, but it is really, really loud. In fact, let's give it a go.
Get a beverage. I saw my parents split up right after the wedding. They told my ass.
And you can change all of the settings with the speakers as well. More bass, everything that you want you can set up within the speaker system. If you want to access all of the settings on the car, bottom right, you're just going to see this little car looking symbol. Now that's got a red dot on it, which means that it needs an update. So we have just got the car in, it is brand new. So it needs an update. If you do need to update, you just click on this upgrade button here. And then that'll tell you that it needs to take X amount of time to do the update, and are you sure? And then if you want to go into the audio, you can adjust all of that on here as well. So you can go into dynamic sound, change which way you like it, or then you can change where the sound comes from. So if you click on custom, you can then see where the speakers are. So if you've got kids and they want to listen to music more, you can have the sound coming from the rear, or again, you can have it from the front if you're wanting it from there as well. So you can change all of that. In here, we've got the display settings. So you've got different screensavers on the clock. So if we turn the screen off, you'll then just have the clock setting on there. Adaptive brightness, that's of course just going to make it brighter when it's brighter outside. And then you've got light mode, dark mode on the screen. You see how that changes. If we just go into, let's say, maps, so you can see how that looks in the dark mode. Now I like to have it on auto, which means that as soon as it starts getting dark outside, it'll switch to dark mode automatically. And then with BYD, what you'll see is on the top here, you'll have sections, and then on the right-hand side, you'll have subsections. So you've got your system settings, you've got your intelligent cruise control and driver safety. So car does have intelligent cruise control, and then you've got all of your safety options. If you do want to turn them off, you can, and scroll through them and just change the settings. So if you want, for example, the lane departure assistant, you can have it on prevention rather than warning, or you can have both, or you can turn them off as well. The only thing is with them sort of settings, it will reset every single time you turn the car on. It's part of the safety regulations, so it's not something you can permanently turn off. And that's not a BYD thing, that's across the board with all of the brands. On here you've got your energy manager, so you can have regenerative brake and high, and again there is a physical button. I'll show you that in just a moment when we've finished up. I'll show you the physical buttons as well. And then you've got all your charger settings as well, and your energy consumption, so you can check on all of that and make sure everything's as it should be. In your vehicle settings, you've got all of your settings for your lights. So these are things like when you turn your car on, when you unlock your car, your lights will come on. So headlights after exit. If we want our headlights to stay on longer once we've got out the car and locked it, you can do. So little things like that, you can change all of that in this section here under vehicle. I think the best thing to do is have a good play around with that just once, and then probably you won't go back into it again. But it's just to change all of your settings how you want them, and then I imagine you won't go into them again. On here you're going to have your service settings, so these will all get updated, and it should be 2 years or 20,000 miles that you need to service on the Sealion 7. So that's all your settings in the car. Again, to access that, it's just this little car button down here, and you can do all your software updates from there too. But moving on to the physical buttons, I'm just going to move this camera. So down here we've got our wireless phone charger. There is only one phone charger. This is not a dual one like we've seen in the Seal. So this is a 50 watt phone charger wireless with an air vent that really cools your phone down. Quite a good little feature, that pumps out a lot of cold air. And this is where you're to place your phone when you're trying to turn the car on through your phone, through your app or through your NFC. If we move further down, you've got your gear selector here. Reverse is up, and when we pop that into reverse, straight away your camera's going to come up with the lines there as well. Now if you've been reversing and then you pop straight into drive, you'll see how it's gone to the front and then back to reverse to the back. So you've got full 360 cameras on here, left, right, wide front, wide rear. Then you've got your main camera on the front as well with your bird's eye view. And also you've got a bird's eye view where you can change the angle to the rear, to the front. So if you're nice and tight in a curb and you don't want to scratch your wheels, There you go, you can see them front wheels moving. Same with the rear. And then you've got your bird's eye view as well. You do have a 360 camera, which has ghost mode, so you can actually see underneath the vehicle. So that's pretty cool. You can make it solid, or you can go into the ghost mode as well. That's a pretty cool feature. But back down here, we'll pop it back into neutral. To use this, you can feel 2 clicks. So 2 clicks down, 2 clicks up. That'll take you to drive and reverse. And then you just want to hold it halfway for a second and let go, and you'll be in neutral. So that's how that works on there. Here we've got the auto climate. Then we've got your front demister. Your mode is basically on this screen in front of you. We just pan around. So as I switch through the mode, you've got normal, sport, snow and land, eco, and then normal. And you can see that screen changing as you go through them as well. So that's a physical button down here. Now this one's your regenerative. So back on that main screen you'll have standard and high, or you can do it through the settings, but that's how you change your regenerative braking. Volume button on here, click it in to mute it, and then you've got your park button on there as well. As soon as I click the park button, it comes up with a screensaver on there too. To turn the car on and off, of course, start button just there, that's now the car turned off. And then in terms of cup holders for the car, these are adaptive, so if we press them right down, we go really deep, and then you just press this little button here for it to come back up. Pretty cool. Plenty of storage in the car. If I can just get this camera around. Loads of storage down in the armrest, and then loads of storage, sorry about the angle, underneath as well. Got USB-Cs down there and different bits of storage. But if I just turn the car back on and zoom out a touch, there we go. We'll have a look at the steering wheel and the settings in front. So on here we've got adaptive cruise control up in the top left. So all we're going to do to set that is basically while you're driving, just press this up and down to set the speed. This side on the left is going to be to shorten the distance between you and the car in front, and this side is going to be to make that gap greater. So when you're driving, you've got cruise control on. With it being intelligent, the car will automatically slow down and speed up as you go through. Now this button here is going to change the information that's on the left hand side of the screen, so that gives you your tyre settings and also your energy settings on there too. This button here is going to be for quick access to your cameras, so if we click that, brings up your cameras. If I click it again, it takes the cameras off. So that's a fast access to your cameras. And then this one is the automated steering. So when you're driving, you turn that on, it will use the cameras and the sensors, and what it'll do is it'll steer for you and keep you between the lines. Quite scary, but pretty cool feature once you get used to it. Great for long journeys. This one here is the BYD Assistant. So if I click that, you hear that noise, that means that the car is now listening to me, waiting for me to ask it something. And then you just click it again, turns it off. That's of course to answer your phone. And then on this side, we're going to have the information on your right hand side. So speed limit on there, a timer, your music, or your navigation. So yeah, navigation will actually come up on the front screen here as well. And then of course you've just got your volume up and down. In terms of your lights on this side, pretty self-explanatory, but that'll change it to auto. You can see it changing on the screen there. And then you've got your indicators on the left. Another cool one, if I indicate on the left, it will, when I'm driving, it's not doing it now. Let me just see if I put it in the drive. I won't do it because I've got the brakes on, but it brings up a little camera here on the left hand side of the car so that you don't have to look in the mirror. So that's something I've found while I'm driving. Also, if you're looking for the odometer, you just press and hold this one. Press it, you'll go, I'll show you on this here, bottom right hand side, so trip A, trip B, and your odometer as well. And if you want to reset it, all you're going to do is press and hold this button. So trip A has gone from 219 miles down to 0 miles, and trip B will still be on 219. The reason you have two is just so you can run two different ones at the same time if you're trying to measure distance and stuff like that. Right hand side is just your wipers, pretty standard stuff, up, down, set it to automatic, and then your speed and your speed on the right hand side there as well. So that's all of the buttons in the car. On your door side here, you've got your windows, pretty self-explanatory stuff again. There is a boot button down below here too. And if you're trying to find that frunk button, it is just underneath here. It took me a little while to find it actually, it's hidden out the way, but it's just down below there. You'll be able to feel it. You've got to pull that twice. And if you're wondering what this funny looking little gadget is over here, that's an infrared camera that measures your face. And if you're on a journey or you're driving and you're not paying attention to the road, it's going to start talking to you and flashing up here that you're not, perhaps telling you to take a break as well. It's a really, really clever system. So that's all of the buttons in the car. I know it was a little bit in-depth, the video, but I just wanted to go through, and if it is something that you're thinking of getting or you've got one on order, it's probably a good video to watch so that you can see all the different features and functions of what I've learned so far anyway after having the car for a day. When you turn your car off as well, it will bring up your drive that you've just done, telling you how many miles you've done, etc. So if you do have any questions, pop them in the comments below. Bit of an in-depth video, I know I've done a lot of videos on all the BYDs, but I really want to spend a little bit of time on this one with all the features that are inside the car. So I hope you enjoyed it, but if you do have any questions, pop them below, I'll do my best to answer them.